guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be working with the full body and we're going to be doing what I call a dropping the ego flow. So just thinking about, letting our ego settle down off the mat, just to one side, come back to you, let yourself be vulnerable, let yourself feel things that maybe you're not allowing yourself to feel, all those different kinds of things. And also, try not to feel too worried about falling out of poses or doing something that you've never tried before, and also don't come into the class with any expectations. So we'll just start in a comfortable seated position, hands on top of those knees, and just close the eyes down. Take a moment to draw your attention inwards, tune into the body, maybe start to deepen the breath a little bit. Checking in with those feelings, those emotions. And then just saying to yourself, my ego is going to stay off this mat just for this practice. Knowing that our ego sometimes is a good thing because it can protect us, it tells us if something's off, it tells us if we're going to get hurt, but at the same time, sometimes you need to break those barriers down, you need to let things in, and you just need to have a go at stuff that maybe ordinarily you wouldn't have a go at. Alright, one more deep inhale here. And exhale. And then you can just start to open the eyes and come into a tabletop position. We'll start to warm up the body. So coming onto the hands and the knees. And instead of just going into your cat-cows as maybe you ordinarily would, I'm just going to ask you to start moving the body in a way that feels right for you. So start to get into all those spaces, starting to warm up into the spine. Of course, you can come through your cat-cows, but what I mean is that your movement is less uniform than perhaps it ordinarily would. So just start to do things that might feel nice for you. If you want to close down the eyes, then you can. And just really warming up the spine, warming up the back body. Alright, start to come back to a neutral spine here. We're going to tuck the toes under, maybe walk the hands a little bit further forward, spread those fingers nice and wide, and just start to lift the tailbone, coming up into your down dog. And again, any movement that might feel good here, go for it. Maybe tuning into your ujjayi breath now as well. Just pedaling those heels down, getting into that down dog, finding a comfortable space, and then let's come to stillness. One more nice deep inhale for me, and exhale. Alright, start to bring those eyes to look towards the hands, just tiptoe yourself forwards into your Uttanasana and just come into your forward fold here. Again, choosing to take this as you like, so if you want to have straight legs you can, maybe prefer to have a bit of a bend in the knees, whatever feels right for you. And then slight bend of those knees, slowly start to roll the spine all the way up to stand. Keep that head heavy. And as your head lifts, bring the shoulders all the way up and draw them back down the body, palms facing forward. Spread those toes nice and wide down the mat. Start to engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. So engaging pelvic floor, lifting the belly button back towards the spine. Next inhale, start to lift the hands all the way up. Exhale, fold it down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift here. Exhale, plant hands, step back to your high plank. Either drop the knees or come down through full chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Okay, we're going to play with the balance here. So coming back to this idea of your ego, not stopping you from doing anything, not worrying about falling on your bum, remembering that it doesn't matter, you're probably in a room alone right now, and even if you're not, who cares? So, start to lift up your right leg, bend the knee, start to open the hip, point through the right toes. Take your gaze towards your left hand, and that left hand, keeping it parallel or on that line that it is on, so parallel the sides of the mat, just start to bring the left hand back about halfway. Maybe this is enough for you here, you're like, whoa, this is hard. Maybe you want to have a go at hovering that left hand. Next step, you start to reach the left hand back up into the air to take hold of that right foot. So see if you can take hold of that foot. Balancing, if you fall, it's all good. Okay, start to take the left hand back down, return the right foot back to the mat. Alright, other side, start to lift up the left leg. Point through the toes, start to open the hip. And then that right hand, you start to walk it about the middle way of that mat. And then see how you feel about maybe hovering the hand, maybe lifting it all the way back, and then let's return that right hand and take the left foot back down onto the mat. And breathe here, exhale. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. Next, inhale, bring gaze towards those hands. Either walk, step, or lightly land forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Take the hands up above the head. And then draw the hands down to heart center. Roll those shoulders back. Check in with those bandhas. Alright, next inhale, let's lift the arms all the way up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place hands, step back, come through your vinyasa flow. So exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, start to lift up the right leg back behind you. Inhale here. Exhale, bring knee through to right tricep, bringing the spine forward, rounding the back. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, bring knee to nose. Inhale to lift the leg. Exhale, bring knee through to left elbow, extend the foot, fallen style, lift up that left arm. Option to try and lift up that right foot. And then take the left hand all the way down. Draw the knee through to nose. See if you can step the foot down between the hands. Inhale, rise up, high crescent lunge. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Alright, inhale now. Drop that back heel. Open up, warrior 2. Check that tailbone is tucked, core is engaged. Lengthen the arms out, gaze over that right hand. Start to reach forwards now with the right hand, flip the palm, reverse the warrior back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe come a little deeper. Creating space in these right ribs here, so as you inhale, really try to feel that creation of space. 1 more breath, inhale. And exhale, windmill hands all the way down either side of that front foot. Option to take three-legged chaturanga here. So as you come back to your high plank, you keep that right leg lifted. Come down through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, return that right foot down. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Next inhale. Start to lift up the left leg. Inhale now. Exhale, knee comes through to left elbow. Inhale to lift the leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Come into your fallen star, extend that leg through. Lifting the right arm. Again, option to lift up that left foot here if you want to. And then start to bring that right hand back down. Bring the knee in towards the nose. And then step that foot down. Inhale, high crescent lunge. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Final time, inhaling. And exhale. Next inhale, now drop that back heel. Warrior 2. Engage bandos, gaze over that front hand. Start to reach forwards, flip that palm, reverse the warrior. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, windmill hands all the way down, either side of the front foot. Options, take that three-legged chaturanga. Keeping that left leg lifted, move through your vinyasa. Meeting back, downward facing dog. You have 5 breaths here in your down dog. So you have an option of just staying in down dog, or you can come down to your child's pose and rest here for 5 breaths, or you can come into dolphin. So from down dog, you lower onto the forearms, walk the feet slightly forwards and come into your dolphin, okay? And come back to that idea of dropping the ego. So if you feel like you should be doing dolphin, that's the reason why you're taking it, even though you're tired, then just listen to actually what your body needs, okay? So dropping the ego and choosing whichever works for you. Okay, when you've had your 5 breaths, start to come back to downward facing dog, if you took an option that wasn't your down dog. And then on your next inhale, start to lift up the right leg, bend the knees, start to bring the heel towards the bum, stacking the hip open. You have an option to stay here in three-legged dog, or if you want to flip the dog, you start to bring that right foot down back behind you, moving onto the left hand, lifting that right arm, trying to straighten your left leg as much as possible, lift those hips. One more breath. Start to come back with that right hand. Take that right leg back behind you, and then bring that foot all the way down. And inhale, start to rise up, high crescent lunge. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Okay, start to lean the body weight forwards onto this front leg. Bring hands together at heart center. We're going to keep that left foot down on the mat just for one more breath, okay? All right, when you're ready now, start to transition your weight onto that front leg into your warrior 3. Try to keep those hips tracking forwards, reaching the crown of the head away from you. Holding here. One more breath. Alright, start to bend that left knee, bring it in towards the chest, and then bending that right knee, slowly start to lift up to stand. And then start to extend the left leg out away from you, so like you're kicking a wall that's in front of you. Keep the chest lifted, really kick that foot away, try to straighten the leg up as much as possible. Embrace any shakes. Okay, start to bring that left leg back in towards the chest. Bending of that right knee again to move back. Warrior 3. Holding here. Okay, start to take both hands down onto the mat now, standing split. Option to stay in your standing split. If you want a little bit more, know that you can take 4 little handstand hops on this right leg. And then everyone take the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Step back into your high plank and move through your vinyasa. And again, you have the 5 breaths here, okay? So if you want to stay in down dog, you can. If you want to come down onto the forearms in the dolphin, you can. If you want to take child's pose, then you can do that as well. Don't worry about whichever you took before. Again, drop that ego, tune in to what your body needs right now. Okay, start to come back to your down dog if you took one of the other 2 options. Moving on to the other side, start to lift up the left leg. Bend that knee, bring heel towards bum, stacking the hips open. Again, stay here in 3-legged dog or move down into your wild thing on this right hand side, lengthening that left arm away from you. And then let's start to take that left hand back down. Lengthen the left leg back behind you. Bring that foot through. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Alright, start to reach the weight forwards onto that front foot. Take hands together at heart center. We're not moving just yet, but most of that weight is in the front leg. And then start to transition onto the left leg. Warrior 3. Holding here, 1 more breath. And then start to bring that right knee in towards the chest. Slight bend that left knee to bring yourself all the way up to stand. And then let's kick the right foot even, away from you. Really kicking that leg, embracing any shakes. 1 more breath. Okay, lift that leg back in towards you, moving the weight forwards, back into your warrior 3. Pushing that right heel away from you. And then we take the hands down to the mat, standing split. And again, option to stay here, option to take those little handstand hops on the left foot if you want to. And then when you're ready, coming back to your high plank, moving through your vinyasa flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Okay, from here, bring your gaze towards your hands and just walk your feet forwards and then come into Uttanasana, relaxing here. Alright, we're going to come into Bakasana now, or crow pose. So, if you have crow in your practice, just go ahead and have a go. Otherwise, I'll just walk you through. Come down to a little squat position. Place the hands about shoulder width distance apart on the mat. Spread those fingers nice and wide. And when you have those hands down, have a bit of traction underneath the fingers, okay? So you have a bit of movement here, almost like there's space between your hand and the mat, but make sure that your fingertips are pressing down, and also the heel of the hand is down to the mat as well. Straighten the legs as much as you can. Start to take the shoulders over those wrists and then bend the arms. So you're coming into your chaturanga arms. Place the knees into the backs of the arms, okay? So not around, people do this all the time. It's into the backs of the arms, all right? And then just start to transition your weight forwards onto the backs of the arms. Maybe this is as far as you can. Perhaps you want to play with lifting up one foot, taking that back down, lifting up the left foot. If you're feeling confident, then you could start to take yourself all the way forwards, lifting up both feet, and just have a go. You can even pause the video here if you want, and just have a little play with your crow. If you don't want to do crow, don't worry, just move the video along a little bit. But yeah, pause it if you want to have a go. Okay, when you've had a go now, just walk the hands forwards, come into your downward facing dog. We'll take it down into some lovely stretches. So start to lift up the right leg, bend the knee, start to bring that right knee just behind the right wrist, take the shin down onto the mat, walk that left foot back. We're coming into pigeon. If you feel like your hips are uneven, feel free to prop one of your hips, and then as you're ready, just come down onto the forearms, maybe, or perhaps you want to relax the head all the way down, and just come to rest here, relaxing down into that right hip. Breathing deeply here. One more breath. And then start to lift the chest, place the hands back down onto the mat, tuck under those toes, and just come back to your down dog. Any movement here that might feel nice, go for it. Alright, and then when you're ready, let's lift up the left leg. Bring that left knee down behind the left wrist, shin comes down, walking that leg back as much as you need, and then just start to fold down over the left leg and just relax the head down here. Just bringing that focus onto relaxing into the left hip, and also keep it on the breath here. One more breath. And then slowly start to lift up. We'll sit down into that left hip and bring both legs out onto the mat, out in front of you. Sit yourself up nice and tall, coming into Paschimottanasana. So nice tall spine, inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, start to lean forward. So try not to round the spine, try to keep yourself sitting up nice and tall, but reach that chest forwards. Take the hands down onto the legs wherever they fall. If you have a strap that you want to use, feel free to use it. And work with the breath. So every inhale, I'm going to ask you to draw that spine a little longer. And as you exhale, maybe you can come down a bit deeper. Keep engagement in the feet, so keep pushing those heels away from you. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, maybe you come down deeper. You might want to close the eyes down here. So working with that breath. One more breath here. And then slowly just start to roll all the way up to seated. Okay, from here now, just bring the soles of the feet onto the mat about hip width distance apart. Lengthen the arms away from you. Just slowly start to roll all the way down into the mat. We're coming up into bridge pose now. So bring those heels a little closer so that you can touch them with the middle fingers of both hands when you lengthen those arms out away from you. Let's tuck that tailbone under, press the feet down into the mat. Inhale, start to lift the hips, coming up into your bridge, lifting those hips, lifting that chest. Option to walk shoulders under here, getting a nice chest opener, lengthening those arms away from you. Breathing here. One more breath. And then walk those shoulders back, tuck tailbone, slowly start to lower all the way down into the mat. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little hug, rocking from side to side. Alright, option to take bridge again, or if you want to come into wheel, I'm going to walk you through that. So, bridge and wheel, hands, feet even, come hip width distance apart again. Lengthen that tailbone down. If you just want to come into your bridge, then enter the way that we came in. You're coming into your wheel, hands come, placing the fingers, they're pointing downwards. So, hands come all the way up and over like this, fingers pointing towards your toes. Try to keep those elbows in line with the shoulders, so don't allow them to fall out. Keep those elbows in line with the shoulders. So I'm moving on to the other side. Tuck tailbone, really press the hands down into the mat. And I want you to almost imagine that you're pressing your elbows away from you. And then everybody, whether you're lifting up into bridge or wheel, tuck that tailbone, start to lift the hips. If you're coming into your wheel with me, press down into the hands, lifting the hips, pressing into those hands, trying to keep those elbows in line with the shoulders, really lengthening up and trying to push the chest towards the back of the room. Inhale. And exhale, one more breath. And then everyone lower the head all the way down. Bring the upper shoulders down and then everyone tuck the tailbone, lengthen the spine all the way down nice and slowly. And then bring those knees into the chest, give yourself a little hug. Speaking and doing wheel is not to be advised. Ooh. Okay, we'll take a shoulder stand now. If you want to come into a headstand that you have in your practice and you want to do it maybe up against your wall, then go for it. If you don't want to take shoulder stand or headstand, you can just lift the legs, extending the feet away from you, arms relaxing down to the sides. If you're coming into your shoulder stand with me, start to bring those knees in towards the chest. Nice little engagement of that core as you take the legs all the way back behind you into your plow to begin with, Savasana. Walking those elbows so that they're parallel the sides of the mat, hands come down onto those hips, extending the legs all the way up into the air and lifting those hips, trying to create a nice straight line from the shoulders all the way up, keeping that core engaged, Keep your gaze towards your navel. We have 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Okay, from here, slowly start to lower those feet all the way back down behind you into your plow. If your feet touch the ground like mine are, try to straighten those legs, maybe release hands down onto the mat. From here, start to bend the knees, bring them either sides of the ears, deaf man's pose. And then with care, we're going to bring ourselves all the way down. So engaging that core to lower the spine. Try to keep those legs long and take the legs all the way down. Alright, finishing with Matsyasana, fish pose. Point those toes, come up onto the forearms. Inhale, really lift the chest, draw those shoulders back. If it's comfortable for you, start to release the crown of the head all the way back. Slowly start to lift out of this and just come to lie down onto your mat. Start to relax the legs, relax the arms, close the eyes down, set up for your Savasana. A nice little short Savasana here. Please stay with me until the end. Make sure those eyes are closed. Start to let that breath return back to its natural rhythm. And really work on relaxing down every single part of your being. Move over onto your right hand side, keeping those eyes closed for now, and then press the hands down onto the mat. Slowly start to come to a comfortable seated position. And when you get there, just bring those hands together at heart center. Take a moment to thank your body for its practice. Thank yourself for stepping on the mat today, moving, doing whatever you need to do. And as you go into the rest of your day, maybe into the rest of your week, if you want to continue with dropping that ego, seeing where it takes you, then by all means go for it. Just remember that it's only there because it's afraid that you're going to get hurt. So it's trying to protect you, but sometimes we need to just let that go and be open to new possibilities. Start to bring the thumbs up to gently rest against the third eye between those eyebrows. Bow the head all the way down. And namaste. As always, thank you so much for flowing with me. I hope you had a good practice. Please feel free to leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back next Sunday with another flow for you. So bye.